Welcome to the Dome Discussions Podcast. Your top source for all things New Orleans Saints. Powered by four voices who live and breathe black and gold. Touchdown! Every hit, every play.
Welcome to the NFL.
Every moment. We've got it covered.
Let's go! Let's go! Go!
What's going on, Who Dat Nation? Appreciate everybody tuning in to the Dome Discussions Podcast, part of the Be in the Know Network. I'm Kyle Besson with Athlon Sports and Canal Street Chronicles.
I'm Nick Jennings with Canal Street Chronicles.
I'm Caleb Yacarino with Canal Street Chronicles.
I'm Drew Collins of Who Dat Bitch.
Yeah, and before we break anything talking about the Saints, players, whatever, the Saints this week released their new alternate helmets. Amazing feedback on Twitter. Honestly, it's the helmets that everybody has been waiting for. Since we got the black helmets, everything, we want the whiteouts. We want them to match the Color Rush golds. I'm a huge fan of them. What do you guys have to say about the helmets?
Yeah, I love it. I think the black speckled on the white is awesome. The one little bit of criticism I had was as soon as it dropped, I was like, why did they go back with the route of the little fleur-de-lis on the stripe? Thankfully, it's a little dimmer this time, so you can't really see it. But yeah, I think they nailed it. I think it'll be beautiful with the Color Rush uniforms.
Yeah, after the hype of the black helmets that I was very excited for, and they were very disappointing. I was kind of worried with the white ones because it kind of looked like it was going that direction. So when I saw the speckles or the fleur-de-lis at first also, I was a little scared, but it actually kind of worked, and I can't wait to just see that with the Color Rush because that's probably the best uniform in the NFL. So that combination is just going to be amazing.
They're so clean. I have no complaints about them. That, as you were saying, that with the Color Rush uniform is going to be so spectacular to see.
Yeah, for me, this could mean a little something. Now, obviously, the Saints released this because the NFL's new rule, which allowed a team to have a third helmet. But in a way, this could signify a little bit of a new era for the Saints. You know, we haven't really had new uniforms in a while, and it's rumored that the Saints will be getting new uniforms coming up. Now, I don't know if that's 100% true, but the guys who did rumor for the helmet. So it could be true, and it could lead to maybe a new era for the Saints, a new color to go with it. And for me, I'm really hoping the Saints come out in the Color Rush with the white helmets week 1 against the Arizona Cardinals. You know, maybe the Cardinals wear their blackouts, but Tyler Shuck walking out the tunnel with the all whites, that could be something big for the Saints. And like I said, it could really start the new era of Saints football.
Tyler Shuck or Spencer Rattler.
See, my thing.
Or Jake Haener.
See, I'm saying Tyler Shuck just to go with the narrative, the Kellen Moore, the Tyler Shuck, the new uniforms. It's the narrative I might be pushing right now, but I do think the helmets and everything is even better than we expected because it's what everybody wanted. We all wanted the white helmets with the matching gold for the Color Rush, but like Nick said, the black speckles or specs, that's beautiful. It actually makes the helmet so much better, and honestly, I would have never been able to predict it or tell you it would look as good as it does with those. But I think it looks great, better than I expected, and I want to get one and kind of throw it right in my room somewhere because obviously I don't have too much back here. I'll go ahead, get me one and throw it back there.
Yeah, I remember the rumors about the New Jerseys, and people were kind of talking about it because people were saying that, the Saints could rebrand their jerseys because they've had the same jerseys for a while, but they're also the best jerseys in the NFL. So why kind of change that? They're just amazing. Now, if the Pelicans decided, sorry, this isn't a basketball podcast, but if the Pelicans decided to change some things, I'd be very happy, but that's another story.
Yeah, actually, kind of you bring that up, and let's bring that up. I'll pivot a little bit before we even go to the next thing, because those new rumored uniforms that we have no idea is true or not. Do you guys have a prediction on what those could be? Because I think I have a strong prediction for what it could be. I wonder if you guys have the same idea.
Man, I am praying for old jerseys with white numbers. I am praying for it.
You said the gold jerseys?
With white numbers.
See, I'm with you because Cameron Jordan feels like Cameron Jordan's saying it's happening. To me, now Cameron Jordan has been talking about he wants it for a while, and I don't remember the exact tweets, but it really feels like Cameron Jordan's hinting at something. He kind of leaked the helmet a day before. After they revealed it, he had a tweet and said, "You got the right colors, the wrong design." And he's been talking about the gold jerseys some more recently. I think we could finally get the gold jerseys, and because the Saints still do have that black helmet. So I don't know if maybe they try to pair the black helmet with the gold jerseys, because if there is a new uniform coming in, I have no idea what it would be, right? I'd like a Vanderbilt like uniform. This has been the talk for a while on Saints uniforms because the Vandy's uniforms are beautiful, the black and their gold. But if they go with the golds and like the black helmet, I think they could make it work.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean they could just change some of the how just the jerseys look and same color ways, but just how they look a little bit. I mean so many teams have done that and they sometimes look better and sometimes look worse. Just don't be the Rams and just like blue
Don't
and
be the
yellow.
Falcons
Don't
with
be
the red
don't be the
and blue.
Falcons either. The Rams have some of the worst jerseys in the NFL, and I'll just say that right now. That was the worst change ever. They had such a good colorway. I know they were changing to LA, but
I
I don't like it.
I
I don't like
applaud
it.
the Falcons for their gradient jerseys, but they are some of the worst. Like, they tried something that hasn't been tried in the NFL in at least a long time. But maybe I would have liked it if I was like 12. But as a grown man, that uniform does not look anything but like a little kid made it. All right, but that is we just wanted a brief on the uniforms for a little bit. Big topic in Saints Twitter, Saints world, and they look sick, and I can't wait to see the first game. They haven't announced what games they're gonna be wearing, right?
Not yet.
Because the Commanders announced immediately what games theirs are, so I hope we figure out soon because we know it's gonna be it's gonna be nice. All right, but actually to right into it now, new uniforms. The Saints went 0-4 in their black helmets. I don't know if we could have predicted that. They didn't look good. But speaking of records, we're going into a brand new season with a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of things that we don't know about the Saints, and I kind of want to know where you guys think the Saints are going to finish the season. And Nick, if you want to start us out, kind of give us a record prediction and kind of why you think that's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. For my current record prediction, I have the Saints going 6-11 with wins against the Cardinals, the Giants, the Falcons, the Panthers, the Jets, and the Titans. While I do have New Orleans falling to Miami in Week 13, I kind of view that one as more of a toss-up, similar to the Jets game in Week 16, though I do have the Saints coming away with that one. But I personally just can't see the Saints being a 9-10 win team at this point. Though I also don't see them being a 3-4 win team. I feel like the roster is much more talented than they're getting credit for. I'd say experience is more of an issue than talent at this point. But obviously the biggest wild cards are going to be QB consistency, having two young quarterbacks, staying healthy, which has been troubling for New Orleans in the past, and the defensive line. They've just got to finish some plays and come up with some sacks. They weren't bad from a pressure standpoint last year, but getting to the quarterback and finishing those plays will be significant when it comes to the production of the defensive line.
And I feel like we're
Yeah, and I think
I'll go ahead. I feel like we're gonna say a lot of what you said, and so when it's my turn to go, I don't want to try to rebuff too much what you said about it. But yeah, the Saints have had a lot of problems that they showed us they haven't been able to fix on their own in recent years. Injuries is a major concern, and as you said, there's a lot of unknowns. I don't know, and that's honestly when I made my picks, I actually just went with a record. I didn't actually count down what teams I think they can and can't beat. But it is to mention they do have the second easiest strength of schedule going into the season.
I have my beef with the strength schedule. I hate strength schedule. Biggest lie in the world because it's all about last season and it should never be done like for the next season because you don't know how like the Bears, for example. Bears are a much better team on paper. They're probably going to be way better, but the strength schedule is good for us because last year they were not great. So just wanted to call that out real quick. I hate strength schedule.
I 100% agree with you. I 100% agree with you that strength of schedule is different because, I mean, Tom Brady went to the Buccaneers and the Buccaneers was a different team afterwards. But teams like the Bears are going to be the Bears no matter what. We have been saying the Bears are going to be a better team next year. Sometimes it's more of an organizational look. So when I say strength of schedule and this team was bad last year, if it's a historically bad team, I'm just going to assume they're going to be bad until they show me otherwise.
Yeah, because they've won. I think they've won the offseason for the past 2 off seasons.
At least.
And we don't know about this offseason, but last offseason didn't really work out for them.
All right, but going into it, Caleb, would you want to tell us maybe your record prediction?
Yeah, so I just have one more win. I am at 7-10 for the Saints. I think my biggest thing was I think they're really going to avoid long loss streaks. And that's kind of why I got that 7 win because they never really they didn't in my record prediction they didn't lose 3 games in a row. And that's a testament to Kellen Moore, no pun intended. Because I really do think that he's going to keep this team motivated and not allow them to really lose a massive losing streak. And I think in the long run, for the team chemistry, it's going to be huge. all this depends really on the quarterback. I'm not going to lie. I've talked a lot about the defense. I've talked a lot about the defensive worries that I have. But if Tyler Shuck or Spencer Rattler really struggle, this could be a 3-win season. If they play really well and the defense doesn't struggle as much, this could be a 9-win season. It's really just building off of what the pieces they have right now and a new coaching staff, as we kind of talked about with the helmets. It's a new era, new vibes around the team. So I really don't think they're going to be as bad as last year. I see a lot of record prediction, or not record predictions, but betting odds. And even if you look at like mock draft simulators, they have the Saints drafting in the top 5. I really don't think they're going to be worse. If Dennis Allen got them that many wins, then I'm not going, and Darren Rizzi, I'm not going to think that Kellen Moore is going to get less. I'm not going to think Kellen Moore is going to get less. I think they're going to get more. But again, this team is so volatile. So right now I'm at 7-10, but injuries, bad quarterback play, bad defense could easily destroy everything.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, the betting lines. The Saints are at over-under is 5.5 wins. That's where the line's at. And to be fair, that feels like a very, very, it feels like a good line, to be honest. For me, I'd bet the over. We'll get into it a little bit later because it's hard to win less than 5 games. To be in the NFL and just win 4 games, or I'll get into it when I come to my record, but Adam Rank had the Saints go 2-15 next year. That's hard to do. It's a lot harder to do that than it is to me. I mean, personally, I guess you could throw every game, but in genuine, when you got 22 guys out there in the field all times trying their heart out, it's hard for those guys to have 17 shots at a win and only bring out 2 of them. You have to be a historically really bad team. But Adam Rank does have the Saints going 2-15. So with the line set at 5.5, or how you brought up, a lot of people are really low on the Saints this year.
And I think we're all low on the Saints, but not that low.
Nowhere
because that's
low.
Because I mean, it could be a little bit of bias, it could be something like that, but I just feel like knowing how many injuries the roster dealt with last year, all the coaching issues the roster dealt with last year, and obviously there's some things very different with this roster going into this season, but it's pretty much the same without a good DB, really good DB room,
and kind of
Derek Carr.
Piggyback on what I did say, Adam Rank does have the Bears going 10-7. So we know he's a Bears fan. Adam Rank's a Bears fan, so he does have the Bears going 10-7. He has the Saints beating the Bears, but he's also the guy that had the 49ers go 3-13. So there's a lot of things. That was their Super Bowl year. Adam Rank had. So obviously, it's a predictions. He hasn't been the greatest. I think he's a great NFL analyst, however it is. But 2-15 is a really hard record to reach. And that's kind of what inspired a little bit of our record predictions thing here, is because Adam Rank's story did pretty well when he posted it on 2-15. I can't fathom it. 2-15 is incredibly difficult to do.
And with how bad the whole NFL has been, I mean, look at this past draft. It was like the Saints were. I'm probably blocked in my mind. What was their final record? 5 wins.
Yeah, 5 wins. 5-12 last year.
Yeah, they were 5 wins and drafted at 9.
Oh yeah, and by the way, we play the Panthers and Falcons twice a year. I mean, those guys don't really 100% have their answer at quarterback either. But into it, Drew, would you want to tell us your record prediction for it?
I guess I'm a little bit lower than you guys are, but I have us going 5-12. And the only reason I have us going lower is because I think the start of the year is going to be a struggle. Looking at the first 10 games before the bye, I have us going 1-9. After that, I have us beating the Falcons. I have us beating the Panthers. I have us beating the Jets. I have us beating the Titans. And I almost had us beating the Dolphins too. I think after the bye is a much more favorable part. Once this scheme kind of gets going, once the quarterbacks get more used to it, I think we're really going to pick up steam. But it might be a struggle until we get to that point. There's a lot of new, different parts moving right now. And I just don't know how much they're going to win at the start, especially facing some tougher opponents early. But I think after they start getting used to it, after that week 11 bye, it's going to be a lot better.
And, I mean, historically, we know the Saints, too, to do exactly what you said, which is start the season off terrible. You're hyped up for at least a good draft pick, and then they turn it around, so they did absolutely middle of the pack at the end of the year. But it gets us excited for the next season. We've seen them do that years after year, except for last season. I mean, they just kind of continued their thing. But Yeah, I think, and I knew we were all going to kind of be in the same ballpark when it comes to this record because uh, it's really hard to predict this team, and it's better to be safe than sorry for us. I don't know if I want to be the guy that goes out and says the Saints are going 11-6 and uh, get that labeled as my prediction, and then I look like a genius if it hits. But the chance of that happen is not really because I'll just go right off and say I have the Saints also going 6-11 like Nick. I didn't have it specific game by game, but like I said earlier, the Saints are going to play the Panthers twice. They're going to play the Falcons twice. I did a piece on the quarterbacks that we faced this season. The quarterback competition isn't too difficult. I mean, obviously you have Josh Allen, last year's MVP. That's real tough. But then it goes down to like Matthew Stafford, who's a great quarterback on his own, but then is he the second best quarterback the Saints play next year? Kyler Murray, he's in the top 5 of quarterbacks the Saints play next year. Is he a top? What is he top in the leagues? The Saints don't face that high end quarterback talent, so they might make it look like it with the DB room if the DB room does struggle, but that also may be something because we're really concerned about the DB room. And with that being said, the quarterback competition is not going to be that difficult. So I think the Saints pull out more just because of the fact. So I think the Saints naturally, if they had any other schedule, and that's why I brought up strength of schedule, could go and win 3-14 or 4-12 or 13, the math somewhere. But the Saints could do that. But since the QB competition isn't high end, Brock Purdy's also in there. So Brock Purdy's another one of those top guys the Saints are going to face. Now, to be fair, Brock Purdy could probably be a kryptonite there with he's a pocket passer, pure pocket passer. But for me, it's a lot of firsts, right? First year starting quarterback, no matter who they pick, it's just going to be this guy's first year coming in and being the starter. First year head coach. There's a lot of experience in the coaching staff, but it's still a lot of inexperience. Kellen Moore hasn't run the team on his own yet. Tyler Shuck or Spencer Rattler hasn't either taken an NFL snap or been a starter on that day. So it's a lot to predict, and it's hard to be high on these guys. And the only thing that's making me put them where I am is schedule wise. The opponents, I don't think the schedule's that difficult, and it's just hard to be that bad. Now it's possible being that bad with a potentially bad head coach. We don't know. Or a potentially bad starting quarterback, and we don't know. Those things can easily lead the Saints to win 2 games, or 2-15, like Adam Rank said. But I just can't see it happening. We haven't seen it happen since 1980. That was the last time the Saints won 2 or less games. 1980, when they went 1-15. I just don't see it happening again. It'd be a big shock to me.
I actually think the second best quarterback that the Saints are going to possibly play is Drake May, because if Vrabel gets everything together and he takes that next step, he could be dangerous. And that's another thing, just looking at the schedule again, like there's a lot of, as you said, there's a lot of question marks with the quarterbacks the Saints play, but there's also a lot of potential with those quarterbacks because you have Caleb Williams in the Ben Johnson offense. I talked about Drake May. You have Cam Ward. Justin Fields and the Jets, I'm not sure about that. Bryce Young, Sam Darnold, Bryce Young coming off of a better season. Baker Mayfield, who, if the running game is still good, can still do well. We talked about Stafford.
Mayfield is, but Michael Penix is the other one. Michael Penix, yeah, a lot of young guys who can.
Penix, that's.
So you know what? That's
and even the Giants. Like the Giants are probably trying out Russell Wilson, but like let's just say that goes horribly wrong. Jackson Dart could be starting by the Saints game. And that's scary because
we see Jameis.
First thing, Jackson Dart shouldn't be starting by the Saints game, but that's just like the biggest wild card ever.
You hit that nail on the head. I didn't even think about all the young talent that could really. And you know what? It is the Saints' luck to, like I said, cornerback room isn't that good. We don't know how the pass rush is going to look. These guys might get their breakout game against the Saints. The Saints might make these guys the starter just off of facing them. So honestly, that was a great point. That Saints are going to face a lot of young talent this season and a lot of guys that I think we know eventually will turn it on or get to that point. Caleb Williams I feel like he's bound for it eventually with that offense that he's in. He's an amazingly talented player. I hope it's not comes out against the Saints. Yeah, I hope that's not the day that they figure that out. But it could be. And like you said, there's a lot of guys that the Saints are going to be facing where this could be their game.
And a lot of those
quarterbacks. Week 7 game against the Bears. That might be when Ben Johnson starts to figure it all out and get that going. So that
and Dennis Allen revenge game. Dennis Allen revenge game.
That one could be a struggle, but
Because all the quarterbacks also, like, a lot of the quarterbacks I talked about can run the ball. And I know Dennis Allen is no longer commanding the defense and struggles against running quarterbacks, but that's such a question mark with this defense in general already. So that's going to be a worry. And kind of going back to what Drew was talking about with the early 1-9 record prediction, Kellen Moore tends to start a little slow. We even saw it last year with that dynamic offense. They really had to figure things out, and I truly do think they need to figure things out. So I like that would not be the most surprising thing ever, just because he's going to really need to figure out. You could, in theory, know everything, but once you hit the field, everything can change. And if that happens, then there's going to be a lot of things changing with an already a team changing a lot of things in general. So it could go wrong very fast. So that's actually really good. I could see that happening.
Yeah, this Saints season, like I think we all said it. Each of us, there's a lot of things that we don't know, and with injuries, the Saints also haven't shown me they can stay healthy. I want to be optimistic, but I think my most optimistic I could give you is 6 wins, and just don't let us go each month without a win. You know, let us get 1 month each win, and I'll be happy. But with that being said, we're going into trivia now, and we're going to be doing trivia a little bit different this time around. Nick has been 5 for 6, and the one trivia he didn't get, he lagged out. So Nick here is going to do the trivia, and now I'm a contestant here. I'm trying to get it right. You know, I'm sitting here, I picked these names out, and I'm like, how are these guys not getting it? Well, now we're about to push it, because let's see if I can put money where my mouth is and see if I can go ahead and snag it, because I bet you it feels a lot more difficult on this side when you have no idea who the guy is. All right, so
I'm going to be so mad if you get it right away. I'm going to be so mad if you get it like that.
All right, Nick, go ahead and start
I'm going to steal the words out of Kyle's mouth from the past to it, because I doubt you guys get this one early. It'll probably come to position for me for when I think y'all will get it. But I'm going to start off with the teams that he's played for, not naming years. Played for the Saints, played for the Patriots. One game, though, did not appear in that game. Played for the San Francisco 49ers, back to the Saints, then to the Jets, then to the Bills, and then finished his career with the Panthers.
So he played one game for the Patriots, or
yeah, but did not see the field.
Not see the field, so I'm going to think.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Saints, Niners, Saints.
So it was Saints, Patriots, Niners, Saints.
Then Jets, then Bills, then finished his career in Carolina.
Is this Quan Alexander?
It's not.
No, Quan didn't start his career with us.
Yeah.
If I
guys want the years?
If I get years, because I could get the. Go ahead, give me years.
Just say Benjamin Watson, but that's not right.
So he was with the Saints from 2012 to 2014. In 2015, joined the Patriots, then went to the Niners in 2015 as well, then back to the Saints in 2015. Stayed with New Orleans till 2016, went to the Jets in 2017, also the Bills in 2017, and then finished it off in 2018 with Carolina.
2018 with Carolina. This can't be the first time.
Wait, the Saints, right. Bills, just like...
It's the 49ers for me. It's the 49ers that's... All right, so drafted or joined the Saints in 2012. Spent 2.5 years, 3. You said 3 years?
3 years, yep.
2015 appeared. Was he traded?
I believe he was released.
Released and then went to the Patriots and then released again for 3
Niners and then yeah.
See, and what was after the second Saints stint?
Jets, Bills, and.
Jets,
yes.
He plays for a lot of rivals.
This is a running back.
That's what I think.
This is a running back. 2012 running back.
I was going to say Jordan Mims. That doesn't make sense.
I'm just good. I can start throwing names out. Oh, wait. Finish. Did I? It's not Chris.
You got the position right.
It's a running back for sure. But now I'm.
Yeah, I had a feeling
it's not Chris Ivory. Huh?
I would say. I would say. More of a special teams returner that you would know him for.
Dan Smalls, he was on the Eagles and everything else. Oh.
It's a struggle.
Actually, I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I know because I know it is a guy because I know it. I knew it was a running back because I know the career path.
I'm
I know the career
I'm thinking of
path.
all the running backs.
Tim Hightower keeps.
Do you want his
popping in my-
college? That might help.
That's
Yeah.
not gonna help me. That's not gonna help me.
That might help me.
That's my only chance.
I'll give it to you. He is actually where I'm at right now. He was where I'm at right now at Appalachian State. So, if that helps you at all.
Not a word. All right.
What's his?
You know, it's not Chris Ivory, but it's the other one. It's the,
The other one.
Yeah, it's the other one. I'm not gonna be able to. Pierre
I
Thomas
should.
was Super Bowl
I
I
II.
remember
feeling
someone
as I
from App
said.
State. I have no idea who.
Chris Ivory
might
was
need
in 33,
initials.
right?
Made a whole Google sheet with every Saints player. What
Can you give
college
us
they went
jersey
to.
number on
I
the
should know
Saints?
this.
I can. Yes, let me.
I was about to say, do you have that? He was either a UDFA or drafted by the Saints.
Jersey
That's
numbers in the
like
30s.
he's all the.
He wore 39 and 38 for the
Yeah.
Saints.
Jersey numbers in the 30s. I
That sounds
can't.
so familiar.
bro.
That sounds so
I
familiar.
know it does. I know this player. I just don't know what his
Oh,
name
wait
is.
now. Wait. No. I don't know.
35,
I don't know if it's
38,
him.
and
I'm trying to think of
39.
the name.
35, 38, and 39.
Okay. No.
Are we going
Why
to
did I think it was
initials?
CJ
'Cause I feel
Spiller?
like CJ started with the Bills.
I know.
I can give you
Yeah,
the-
that's why I was like,
Give us first name initial. Let's see, because he's on there
Yeah.
for me, but
First name initial?
I can't.
Starts with a T.
A T.
I knew
Oh,
it.
what? What'd you say?
First name starts
I
with a
knew it
T.
was a T. I knew it was a T.
T. Okay.
This is horrible.
This is when I started watching.
knew
football,
it was a
that's why I
T.
know it.
We need
I
Nick
knew his
back.
jersey numbers in the 30s. I knew it was a running back, but I'm not gonna be able to tell you because I can't. It's not. It's the other one. It was not Chris. Evans.
Last name starts with a C.
Travis Cadet. Come on,
There
man!
you
I
go.
told you, I knew it.
Tavares Cadet.
Travis Cadet is
Travis
a
Cadet.
Or is it
Deep
Tavares?
Tavares
cut.
Cadet.
Tavares
That's
Cadet.
a pull.
Tavares Cadet.
Travis Cadet is a deep cut. Oh my!
Man,
I haven't heard that
I'm
name in
not getting
so long.
look, that was difficult because as soon as the career timeline, I knew the Jets would ring the bell, the Bills ring the bell, but I couldn't tell you. That's why I was like, he's a running back, he's number 30, but I can't tell you who it
Travis
is.
Cadet is a deep cut.
It's Tavares
That's a-
Cadet. I messed it up. It's Tavares Cadet.
Tavares.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah, I
I
told
was
you.
about to
it
say
might have
Tariq
been
Cohen.
different.
That wouldn't have made sense.
yeah. I did get it though.
One day.
I'll give him. I got it. I
Did
feel
get it.
I got it a little earlier. I was not gonna pull his name out. It was gonna take too long. I was not gonna be able to pull the name out.
One of 4 players to come from App State. Couldn't get it.
Oh yeah, college. Well, yeah, college wasn't gonna help me there at all. I don't.
College didn't.
College is that is my realm. That's where I can get it.
Look, I was
Like, I've
10
put
years
so
old.
much work
I don't
into
know
who
these
goes to
guys'
what
college
college.
career. I was 10
Thought you
years
were gonna get it when I said that, Drew. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, but I'm looking at it now. There's 4 players who went to App State. Tavares Cadet, DeMarco Jackson, Mark Royals, Shamar Jean Charles. That
Yep.
one was gettable just from that, but
All right. That was fun. You know, man, I might like my seat over here a little more. That was fun. I wish I could have pulled his name out.
still got my
earlier.
one win. I'll take it.
I don't like my seat.
Going into it now, though, the Saints offseason, we talk about experience. We're talking about everything for the Saints, why we think they're going to finish with this record, why Kellen Moore himself has said he thinks, the experience on the team isn't a big problem because of the coaching staff. And there's a lot of experience between the coaches, things like that. And with that being said, there's been a lot of notable coaches brought in. Nick, do you have anything on any of the coaches that you like or you're prepared to see or who you think is going to take a big step for the Saints?
Absolutely. My favorite addition to the coaching staff this offseason is former Philadelphia Eagles run game specialist and offensive line coach TJ Paganetti. Paganetti has worked under Eagles' highly respected run game coordinator and offensive line coach Jeff Stoutland since 2017, so he's got the knowledge from that. In 2024, Philly were in for over 3,000 rushing yards, 29 rushing touchdowns, and 25 runs of 20-plus yards, which each ranks second in the league, while their 164 first down rushes and 7 runs of 40-plus yards were tied for the most in the league. And obviously, Saquon was outstanding last season with the NFL Offensive Player of the Year award, with over 2,000 rushing yards and 13 touchdowns. So after seeing how dominant the Eagles' offense was last year, it makes me, in how they were able to utilize Saquon Barkley, that gives me a lot of optimism regarding the plan for Alvin Kamara in 2025 and the Saints rushing attack as a whole. And most importantly, The resurgence of former Jets first-round pick tackle Mekhi Becton after his move to guard with the Eagles. That's also very intriguing considering how similar his situation is to Trevor Penning's in New Orleans. So I'd like to think that Pagnetti, along with returning offensive line coach Brendan Nugent, who spent time here in 2015 and 2021 during the Saints' better offensive line years, can get the best out of the offensive line in the rushing attack. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how this addition pans out.
Yep, Nick didn't choose TJ Pagnetti. I probably was going to. I've been talking about him all offseason about how people are forgetting that he's on the staff. Taking the Eagles' potential heir apparent to become the offensive line coach is always a great thing. But also, he was so involved with the scouting process of the Eagles and finding Jordan Mailata as late as they did and finding these gems throughout the draft has been amazing. And having the person that kind of led that is great to add to the coaching staff. And I'm assuming he is the person that chose Kelvin Banks, and that's all I wanted. If TJ Pagnetti had the choice, which I'm assuming he did with his background, that makes me feel better about the draft pick. So I also love the point about Trevor Penning. It's so similar to Mekhi Becton, and it's probably the only reason I feel good about that move. Because if there was no history of a coach on the staff doing that, I would be petrified, and we would have different conversations about that move.
Completely agree.
Yeah, and you said two things that I love. First thing you brought up was Alvin Kamara. Kellen Moore has already said he wants to center his offense around Alvin Kamara, and he believes Alvin Kamara can be the guy that the offense is centered around. Is he going to have a Saquon Barkley year? Probably not. But the idea to get the guy that helped Saquon Barkley get 2,000 yards, go ahead, do it. If that's who you think could do it, go ahead, bring him in. I'm not going to hate that idea. You saw production. To me, production means a lot. So what you say you can do and improving or showing what you can do. And he showed that he can help Saquon get there. The other thing is the Trevor Penning thing. Saints have Mekhi Becton at home. We wanted Mekhi Becton through free agency. We all wanted it. We have Mekhi Becton at home, right? Trevor Penning is in that almost that exact same career. There was injury problems there. You couldn't really put him at the tackle when he was struggling. Maybe throwing him at left guard, it might fix a lot of problems. I mean, like, we were asking for Mekhi Becton for a while. He signed, I think it was $13 million with the Chargers in the offseason. See what Trevor Penning has. See what kind of production he has there. You might have found your long-term left guard. If not, go get another one. You have Dylan Raduns, but at the same time, I like the idea of moving him there, and I would like to believe that move was probably done the same way that the Mekhi Becton situation was done, where they saw Becton and they were like, you struggled here, let's start you here and see how you can produce.
And the NFL might have actually told... Oh, you go.
I think it's really significant that Trevor Penning has said that himself, that he feels like his skill set fits guard better and that his strength is run blocking. So having those two things paired with obviously the Eagles' success coming over when TJ Pagnetti and Kellen Moore, it could really be huge for New Orleans.
And the NFL might have actually told us how they thought about the Mekhi Becton situation, because I think they gave the credit with that situation to the Eagles offensive line staff, because it took a while for Mekhi Becton to get signed, and it wasn't the projected contract he was supposed to get. It was a pretty good deal for a starting level player, but many teams in the NFL might have actually believed, oh, this was the Eagles coaching staff, including TJ Pagnetti, instead of Mekhi Becton himself, which is a great sign for us.
I think this move is gonna. I think it's a good move no matter what. Again, to me, production means everything. The Eagles are second in run game, second on all. I think you said like all of the stats are running rush yards for the team, things like that. So I'm impressed to see how it does and see how maybe our quarterback runs the ball. See how that happens. It's interesting to me. Jalen Hurts had a little bit of. Are we getting touch push at the 1 yard every time? Do it while we can. I'm interested to see that, and I want to see if Pagnetti has anything to do with it and where he brings our run game, because Alvin Kamara has still yet to hit that 1,000 rushing yards in his career, or in a season in his career. Maybe this is the season. But Caleb, now go ahead and tell us, who is your coach that you're keeping an eye out on this season?
Yeah, my choice is Terry Joseph, the former passing game coordinator for the Texas Longhorns. I think this hiring kind of got overshadowed by later hirings right after, because not many people talked about it after it kind of happened. But Terry Joseph has been producing Texas Longhorn DBs going to the draft for a while, and he's been so involved with that process in the recruiting process, going out there, getting all the dirty work done, getting the players to the school, and developing them. A big thing with this defensive staff is hiring college coaches, because this defensive roster is pretty young in places and they need development. And Terry Joseph is going to lead that development with a DB room that we have talked about a million times about our worries and how young they are. It is a super young DB room, and Terry Joseph is going to lead that process, develop these players, and it might not happen right away, but it's going to be a deep process. And I also believe that his recruiting background might have played a part in getting players like Justin Reed to come to the Saints, because pitching a team is not an easy thing to do. But with that recruiting background, you could do it.
I love what you
and
said
I
about the
also
development.
go ahead, Drew. Go ahead.
Okay. John A. Barron, the cornerback, first round pick for the Broncos last year. He was a 4-star recruit coming out of high school, but he really didn't break out until last season. You saw the development. He was a projected 7th round, maybe UDFA, on the smaller side. But you saw his instincts were amazing. He was contributing every aspect. If he can develop even a cornerback that way, and that much improvement from a year-to-year basis would be huge for really any of the Saints corners. They're all young. So I love the move of Terry Joseph. I think he'd be amazing.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you. I was bummed when I saw that Marcus Robertson wouldn't be returning as defensive backs coach at the beginning of the offseason. He was great last year, but the addition of a guy like Terry Joseph, who, much like new defensive line coach, also coming from Texas, and Bo Davis, both of those guys are great at connecting with players. So this is huge for New Orleans, especially like Caleb said, very young defensive back room. That connection could really do well for their confidence as well. So I really love the move.
Yeah, and I love how you said it. A guy that's his job in college or as a college coach was to develop these guys and get them to the next step. And that's exactly what the Saints need in their cornerback room right now. Look, we have all the veteran presence as safeties. Right now, 2 veteran safeties at the top. But this cornerback room is so young, and we talk about it every episode, so I'm not going to get into it. But we have a lot of young cornerbacks, and they need development. And having a guy like Terry Joseph come in and really help these guys develop, help them work on their game, and get them to the next step. Because if maybe they're not fully ready to be an NFL starter, well, his job is to get them there, and I like the signing. I like it for the development of our players, and I hope he can help our guys get ready and be ready. All right, but Joe, okay. All right, Drew, who is your coach that you should keep an eye out for?
Yeah, this one isn't a new signing, but I think the fact that they brought back Joel Thomas is such a good addition. He's now the running backs coach and associate head coach. He was just the running backs coach from 2015 to 2023 before he left for the Giants last year. Now he's back, and I think it's just going to be crucial. The Saints had some amazing running years under him, and kind of when he left last year, you lost a little bit with Kamara outside of that. But even with the Giants, Tyrone Tracy, their rookie, forget what round he was drafted in, but he had a great year, 839 yards on the ground for someone who's only been a running back for 2 or 3 years, because he was a former wide receiver. So if he can get Tyrone Tracy, Devin Singletary, that kind of group, which it's a good group, but I think honestly the Saints have a better group. If you can get that production out of them, that development already, I think that'll be great, because the Saints have Kamara. He's a veteran. He doesn't need much more developing. But, I mean, you have so many young people. You have Kendre Miller, Devin Neal. You have Marcus Yarns. You have great players who just need to develop. And I think Joel Thomas could do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually mentioned it in an earlier episode, one of the beginning episodes, actually, about the significance of this return. Him and Alvin Kamara have a great connection. They were really close during his first stint in New Orleans, and I would say that the fact that he returned does give you hope about the direction the Saints are heading, because he had it, like you just mentioned, he had it good in New York, and he left without a promotion. He went and took the same job in New York, so that kind of tells you something about where he thought the Saints were heading back then as well, and maybe his relationship with the staff at that point as well. So now that he's back, he did get that promotion as assistant head coach. This is really huge for the Saints running back room. And like I said, like Kyle said, Alvin Kamara has yet to reach that 1,000-yard mark in his career. This is the best chance that he's going to get right now.
Yeah, and going back to the Giants conversation real quick, he also did that with the running backs with a not great offensive line. So imagine doing that with better running backs and we could all
Much
say a
better.
very good run blocking team. Like if the pass blocking is not great, that's the question mark. Run blocking, this is a dominant offensive line. So that combination with Kellen Moore's mind and making a scheme that can be run based, we wait. The Saints could have one of the best running games in the NFL.
And one of the things that you said was he's a long time Saints running backs coach, and he was here from 2017 to 2021 run where the Saints were a dominant rushing team as it is, and I'm kind of hoping we bring back that two running back system. I've said it before. Alvin Kamara's older. He needs someone to come up behind him. So I think why this move is necessary is for the guys under him. Alvin Kamara and they're for Drew to say it. I was waiting for it. But Alvin Kamara, he's getting older, and he needs young legs behind him to help take the load off, so he can be fresh legs when he comes into the game. And I think Joel Thomas is a great guy to have it because Alvin Kamara was that when he came into the league. He was the young legs for Mark Ingram. He became the Saints running back room after that, and we're waiting for that development to happen again, where we could get a brand new running back run or running back one for the future. And that guy might be on the team right now. He just needs development and needs a chance. And I'm hoping we can finally get that. And all these coaches, we are talking Paganelli, Thomas, these guys. There's an emphasis on why we're talking about them because this running game needs to step up this year with a young quarterback. I'm ready to go back to having a solid running back too, and I hope that development can happen. And it starts with those guys.
Andrew Miller.
Devin Neal all the way. Argue this.
Yeah, I do think it's significant that you say that, Kyle. The Saints' run game was at its best when they had the 1-2 punch. No matter if it was Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara or Latavius Murray and Alvin Kamara, those tandems, you need that goal line back, that punisher, and Alvin is just not going to be that guy for you. As talented as he is, he can do mostly everything for the running back room, but you can't. That's too much for him. Like he's going to wear and tear throughout the season. So that's why I think it's significant that the Saints brought in a guy like Devin Neal who can be that power back for you.
And going off that, we've even seen that with Christian McCaffrey dealing with how many injuries in his career, but he's always the one running back. He never has help. He's the offense. And Alvin Kamara has been very good at not letting his injuries truly destroy his season, but getting up in age, you just never want your veteran running back to be going through that wear and tear, as you kind of said, Nick. So finding that running back too with Joe Thomas, who could hopefully find that player and even find a third option that could just come in if need be. That is going to be so important for this offense. And even if the running game, I should say, if the running game is a main focus, you need as many running backs to go to, no matter what. You need backup options, you need third strings, you need practice squad players, and I think Joel Thomas can do a great job focusing on that.
It could also really free up Alvin Kamara in the passing game once again, which we saw was not at its best last year. So if the Saints do get that 1-2 punch again, then it could really give Alvin Kamara some freedom.
Just bring back more screen game, because again, the run blocking of this offensive line is really good, and that's basically what the screen game is, and they can demolish defensive players in the screen game. We even saw it in the Cowboys game, I'm fairly certain, when Alvin Kamara just ran down the field. All the defensive linemen and DBs were gone because the offensive line just dominated. I just hope that whole system kind of gets brought in also. And if Alvin Kamara is freed up to be in that passing game, it's dangerous.
It's such an athletic offensive line. You saw in that run play you're talking about, Cesar Ruiz running with them down the right sideline. Like with that, Tali Sefuaga, you have everyone who is so athletic, getting them out in the screen game, letting them block defensive backs, even linebackers. They're going to destroy them. That'd be so fun to see. I think they need to use it so much more.
And not to mention, you probably have the best run blocking center in the entire NFL in Eric McCoy, who is always pure effort. So, like you said, they have the offensive line for this run game and the screen game. I really hope they use it.
And it's to me, it's just all up to Joel Thomas to develop these guys and for them to get the opportunity. Because as a coach, he also has to vouch for his guys. Kellen Moore can't look at every section of the offense every 5 minutes, right? Joel Thomas not only has to get his guys ready, be ready, he has to vouch for them. You know, I like Kendre Miller. His word goes. If he wants Kendre Miller to be a running back too, and he's got to sell Kendre Miller to Kellen Moore, it's kind of that way. But he has to develop him, and then he has to prove it. Because if he chooses Devin Neal to go out there. He's like, Coach, I trust Devin Neal to go out there and make this first down for us, and it doesn't happen. It's a little bit of a problem there. So Joe Thomas, to me, it's more about development, just like it was with Joseph. We really need these guys to step up and develop what is our young players, because this is our young core for the future. These are guys that we used high value draft picks on, and so far we haven't seen much out of them. But going with it, talking about developing guys and really getting guys to their best potential, I picked Bo Davis. We talked about Bo Davis a little bit ago, and there's one reason I talked about Bo Davis. A lot of us know Bo Davis from his time at LSU. He's most famously known for when he was at Texas and he ranted on a bus and he was yelling at his guys. They got their ass whooped. They got their ass handed to him. It's a tough loss, and guys are laughing, joking in the bus. And Joel Thomas is a passionate guy, a fiery guy, really going to light up your guys under, and these guys are laughing, joking at him. And he's passionate, almost emotional on the bus. It sounds like there's tears coming out of his eyes as he's yelling at his guys because he's so mad that they lost. And he's so pissed, and they think it's funny. And it's like that. This is a guy that's really going to light a fire under. And to the Saints defensive edge, defensive rush, and the defensive line, these guys need someone to light up. You have guys who have been claiming to take plays off. Chase Young's a guy that you hear a lot. He takes plays off. Let him do that with Bo Davis under him. Chase Young just got $57 million. Let him run that with Bo Davis. He's going to get yelled his ass off on the sideline, not come back into the game. This is a guy that's really going to light a fire under the team. And they need dogs. The Saints need dogs. You don't have dogs anymore. Dogs are gone. Cameron Jordan's old. He has his respect, but he doesn't play like a dog anymore. You don't have a dog in this defensive line anymore. Bo Davis is going to get on these guys, light a fire, and really bring the dog out on them. How to come out and bring out my little Bo Davis. It's something. It's frustrating watching the Saints over the years, and these guys take plays off. These guys act slow. You might get to hurry, but you need to finish. We talked a lot last year about how these guys got to the quarterback. Top 10 in hurries. That's awesome. Finish the play. Let's finish the play. And again, Bo Davis is a guy he's not gonna be happy with you getting a hurry. Finish the play. Light it up. Sack the quarterback. Hit him extra hard on his way down.
Yeah, it would have been really.
As soon as I saw
Bo Davis with guys like Peyton Turner and Marcus Davenport in the building, that would have been really interesting to see. Like you just mentioned, the Saints weren't bad from a pressure standpoint last year. Carl Granderson, Brian Brzee, Chase Young was top 5 in pressures. They just need to get to the quarterback and finish the play.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the Bo Davis signing, I was like, "Oh, Brian Brzee. Oh, this development's going to be fun." Because in my opinion, if Bo Davis is going to if I want him to do one thing with his tenure with the Saints, it's developing Brian Brzee. Because if he can get Brian Brzee to be a good run defender, that's a perennial Pro Bowler. They're undoubtedly, because he's going to be great at pass rush. But if he could be a good run defender, it's over. And I think it's run defense is one of those things like Brian Brzee is big enough. He should have he has the tools to do it. It's just not happening. And if there's one person to hire in the whole country, it's Bo Davis to make that happen. And that's the first thing I thought of. And I do think that I've talked about the defensive tackle group a lot on this podcast, and I have my worries about it. But if there's one person to get the best out of every player, it's Bo Davis. The LSU defensive tackle room was not great last season, but they kept making plays, even when the edge group was struggling at times. I know he's going to get the best out of his players. It just matters more. Are those players going to want to do it? And that's kind of like what Kyle was talking about. But I do think Brian Brzee has that motivation. It just needs to be captured, and it needs to develop.
I actually had quite a few notes that I didn't read one note off of when I was talking about Bo Davis because it became a little bit of a rant. So I'm going to go back to it before we go to anything. Because Bo Davis' whole reason, first of all, a very big reason why Vernon Broughton's a Saint is Bo Davis. Vernon Broughton was a Bo Davis guy. Spent time with him. But I also want to mention that Bo Davis came to the league because NIL, because the transfer portal. He didn't like where college football was going. That was kind of a reason. He took basically the motion to go ahead and come to the league because he hated the way that the college football was heading. And it's another thing. It's a way that you can really see. He's got 13 years of defensive line coaching at the college level and only chose to come to the league when that became an issue. All right, but with that, do we have any closing statements before we head out? No. Okay.
Fantasy All Pro season. Kendra Miller All Pro season. That's all.
All right. With that being said, we appreciate everybody tuning in to episode 7, I believe. 8? Are we at 8? It might be 7 or 8. It's one of those two. Everybody appreciate.
I think it's 7.
I believe it's 7.
Yeah.
All right, we appreciate everybody tuning in. Again, we are getting so close to season. The Saints preseason starts on August 10th. The week before that, we will be putting out an episode every Monday and Thursday starting that time with our breakdown on Thursday of the game ahead of time. But with that said, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Yeah, have a good one.